Welcome to Foundations Friday 31, Logistics Makes Things Happen. This is a follow-up from full episode 83 we put out this week called Foundation 3, Set an Org Structure. And we touched on the folks that are operational, that are doing the work. And remember, our org structure is the third in our Foundational 5 series, where the first is leaders' intent, and then objectives, then an org structure. Then we'll get into next week resource coordination and then communication. But why does logistics make things happen? So we can have the greatest plan in the world. We can have the greatest people out on the ground in the world. But if we don't have the stuff and the facilities and the food and the things that support those people and that make things happen, then we can't do anything, whether it's laptop computers or enough planes and organization to evacuate people from a country like in Afghanistan, or enough food to feed all the firefighters coming off a line, off a wildfire, without the logistical planning to make sure we have the space to feed people, the food to give them, the transportation to move them, the equipment to run whatever program or system or do the planning that we like to do on computers these days. It's not going to happen. So when you think of your incident management team response, when you think of your project team planning, when you pull anything together, when you're going to have a barbecue, logistics makes things happen. And that's something we need to factor in, not just the high speed, who's who from the C-suite and who's going to do this work and, what's the great, wonderful outcome that we're going to do for our goal and our objective and things. We have to think about the ground truth of how much of this is it going to take to do that? How many of these people do we need? Where and what facility are they going to use? How are they going to communicate? So I am glad to be communicating with you all this morning. I wish the best to all of the American citizens and everybody else facing hardship over there in Afghanistan right now. I thank you to all our men and women who have put in time over the past 20 years, first as a strike back after 9/11, and then to try and help rebuild that country to have some sort of freedom. And I thank you all for listening to the show, for sharing it, for doing what you can to help others today. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands, and Godspeed.